And as always, thanks to our wonderful patrons on Patreon. And as always, thanks to our wonderful patrons on Patreon.
6 great games for your next team building exercise. We're looking at Captain Sonar. This fantastic team game pits 2 submarines against each other. Each person on the sub has a job, and they have to work together in order to sink the other person's sub first. Can you find the other sub? As you can see with the screen in the middle, this is a double blind game, so you can't see what each other are doing. And a real test on how well your team works. Here's one that many of you might already know, with Codenames. With this game, you're trying to give one-word guesses, one-word clues to your team in order to get them to pick out which of these cards are your spies. All the people giving the clues get to see this card to see which ones are good and which ones are bad. But if your team guesses this black one, well, it's all over because that's the assassin. So, similar to Pictionary, this is a guessing game where someone gets a word and has to communicate the word to everyone else. And you do that by placing these markers for the main concept and any supporting ideas to the concept. If you're able to communicate the word, great, you get points, and so does the person who guesses it. So here's another classic one that's popular among team building exercises: Dungeons and Dragons. With this one, you become a member of a group diving into high adventures and facing unknown peril. Each person has their own specialization of what they're good at, and you have to use your imagination and problem-solving skills to overcome the danger. Can you survive the next cabin encounter? Now, of course, because we know public speaking is hard, and if you see how many takes we take on this one, you'd know it. Once Upon a Time is a fantastic storytelling game as you're playing these different cards in order to tell a story. But if you start stumbling and stuttering, other people can interrupt the story to play their cards. If you play through your cards and play your Happily Ever After card first, you win. Really helps develop that mental dexterity and quick thinking required for a lot of public speaking. And finally, we have Bonanza, the classic German game. This one is a negotiation game where you're trying to trade different beans to develop your bean fields and make the most money doing so. Whoever can plant their crops and reap the best benefits from their different trades wins. It's kind of like Monopoly without the board. So of course, with all of these games, we use the 3 gears of team building. Explore the concepts you want to cover with your team in order to develop the skills that they need. Play with them and see those concepts in action, and then transform yourself based on the experiences you've had with the games. And of course, all of these games are fantastic to develop these different skills and to make your team work cleaner and better, depending on what your needs are. And of course, we have lots more games that we can use, not just the 6 that we showed you today.
And as always, thanks to our wonderful patrons on Patreon. We couldn't do it without your support. And you can join our list of awesome by going to Patreon/3Gear Studios. What games have you used for your team building activities? Please leave a comment below and share them with us. Thank you so much for watching. Hey Stuart, what are you up to?
I'm getting ready for the Business Women's Networking Powder County event, coming by to show them all of these great games that they can use for their team building activities.